Welcome back to Titleholder Talks with Emily. I'm so excited to have you all here with me today. This podcast is focusing on sharing the stories and experiences of title holders within the Miss America opportunity. And today's guest is a very special guest, and I cannot wait to talk to her and have you all hear all of the stories that she has to tell. See you when she joins. Hi, everyone. So I am here with a very special guest, and why don't you introduce yourself, Kira?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kira Gardner. I am Miss Utah's Teen 2024.
Oh, so awesome. I can't believe I'm talking to the very first member of the Miss America's Teen 2025 class. That's insane to say since I just competed in the Miss America's Teen 2024 class. But just to jump into some questions that I have written down to ask you. First things first, how did you get your start in pageantry and in the Miss America opportunity?
Yes, so I started watching the Miss America organization since I was 3 years old. So it's been a really long time of me looking up to all of these women and teenagers. Those women were the women that really helped me get through like some of the hardest trials that I've ever been through. And because of them, I knew that I wanted to be just like them and be a role model for young girls and boys, just like they were for me. Emma Broyles, a Miss America 2021, was one of the people that just really influenced me when I was being severely bullied. She was the reason that I stood up for myself. And so the Miss America opportunity is one of the coolest opportunities there is. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
That's awesome. So my next question for you is what is your CSI and how did you kind of start it?
So my CSI is called Hope Through the Arts. Hope stands for Health, Outlet, People, and Experiences. So that is all the things that you get through Hope Through the Arts. I am a dancer as well as a florist. I own my own business called Kira's Bloom and Blush Flowers. And I just love art. And my biggest thing with it is I want everyone to know that art doesn't have to be the performing arts. It can be welding. I'm also a welder. Um, Basically everything in this world is an art. So I started it during my experience of being bullied. I The only place I felt safe and happy was at my dance studio because of the people that I was around and just the safe place that it provided me. And I just really want to help everyone find that. And I have had so much fun. So the first year that I competed when I was 13, I first started it and it wasn't really something that I was like, okay, I'm super passionate about this and I have a why. And then I had that experience. And then the next year I competed. That is why I had my why. And I know the power and the healing power that the arts have and how important it is to have hope in your daily life.
I absolutely love that. And since this podcast is all about sharing stories and experiences, I love to hear not only your story to start pageantry, but your story and how that kind of connected into starting your CSI. So we love a good CSI story.
Oh, yeah. I'm a storyteller. I love stories.
Love that. So, what was your favorite memory at your state competition this past year? I know it was just kind of almost recently, but it was about 2 months ago, which is insane.
Go
But
by so fast.
yes, for sure. So, tell us about your favorite memory, whether that be a story from something that happened or an onstage competition moment.
There were so many funny things that happened backstage. Like, I think there was one morning where I ran up to my hostesses just sobbing because I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I was just so stressed out. And it was so funny because they just gave me a hug and they were like, Kira, you're fine. It's okay. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so there were a lot of like really stressful moments that I guess like a lot of people wouldn't really expect to be in pageantry, but it just man, I think it was Saturday morning before finals night that I was like, I need chocolate. I need it now. And it was so funny. But my favorite story was we had this break in between prelims and finals. And like where our competition is held, it's at the Covey in Provo, Utah. They have like this big backstage area and it's just like a really long hallway. And we have tables set up where all of our, our makeup and all of our stations are. And I got a sponsor, Minky Couture, which is just like the best blankets in the whole wide world. And so they were so gracious to donate blankets for each one of the girls. So we were all so tired that we were like, let's just go take like a small nap. Like it'll be so quick, 10 minutes, and then we'll go party it up in between our break. So we all set out our Mickey blankets and we all laid down and we were out. Every single one of us, I think it was 29 or 30 candidates, every single one was passed out on the floor. And so we had like the hostesses walk in and they took a picture of all of us like zombies on the floor, just passed out sleeping. And my favorite picture that we got was I don't know who took it, but they got one of me. I'm a stomach sleeper. And so, I look very interesting while I sleep. And so I literally looked like a dead corpse. And I have all my makeup on and my hair back and every pageant earrings and I'm passed out on the floor. And so that is my favorite. You'll probably find it in one of my stories or one of my posts if you want to see it, but it is a funny picture. And I just remember waking up and my friend Mia, Miss Orum's teen, was dying laughing and she was like, Kira, I've never seen anyone sleep the way that you slept. It was so funny. Hey mom, she just walked in.
That is such a funny story. I actually have a little bit of a similar story that kind of happened to me at Miss America's Teen. We were like going and going and going, and it was actually finals night. And so we had about 3 or 4 hours until finals actually started. And I asked one of my best friends, Ellie, who is the current Miss Idaho teen, I was like, hey, can I borrow your blanket to kind of just lay down and take a nap? And she was like, yeah, sure. So I lay down on the floor underneath the vanities and I took a nap and I woke up and there was 45 minutes until the show started. So I was like, oh, I gotta
There
get my
you go.
so, but pageant girl sleeps is like that should be a new thing for sure. For
Yes.
sure.
Well, it's also like the best sleep. Like I've never slept better than I did on the floor of the Covey Center. So that was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. So, since you are the first member of the Miss America's Teen 2025 class, what has been your favorite memory so far that you have been able to kind of have with your title, and what has been something that you've been able to accomplish as Miss Utah's Teen so far?
I have loved every single experience that I have been given because of holding this title. One of my favorites is working with Compassion Mobility, and they are here in Utah and they help all people be able to do all the things that they want. So they provide wheelchairs and chairs for people who are not able to do the same things that I am able to do. And so I've loved getting to work with them and go to all their events and meet so many people. I love the Easter egg hunt. I got to meet a lot of like the cutest little kids. And there was one young boy, I can't remember his name, but he was just the most smiley young boy I've ever met. And so that is my favorite picture is of me and him because his smile just brought so much light into like everyone's life. Right when he, came in, we were like, okay, all right, like beam of sunshine right here. And so it's just getting to meet people like him and meeting like all of the Miss Utah candidates. I've loved getting to hang out with them and just getting to know so many women and men and so many people that have really made an impact on me and I'm so excited for my first like big thing as Miss Utah's teen is I am hosting workshops every single month and so I have my first art workshop this April. I guess it is April. In a few weeks, it is a floral workshop, and we'll be teaching a whole bunch of how to make a floral arrangement. So I'm really excited about that and to really share my love and passion for the arts and to help everyone find an art for them.
I absolutely love that. Again, kind of pairing with your CSI. Those CSI stories are always the best. And I also, one of my favorite moments as Miss Connecticut's teen was getting to meet so many smiley and wonderful kids. It's just absolutely the best.
It's
So,
like the cutest thing in the world.
yeah, absolutely. So, shifting gears a little bit, what is your favorite phase of competition and why is this particular phase your favorite?
I love interview and evening gown. I feel like it's kind of a tie. Interview has always been my favorite because, like I said earlier, I'm a storyteller. I love to tell stories about who I am, where I've been, and where I plan to go, as well as the things I've experienced, because I think it's so important to share those stories. I am a huge like fanatic and geek of like all things history, and so I've just grown up with like all of, the stories that I love to tell. So I love standing in front of the judges and telling them that this is my story and this is why I want to help other people. And it's just been a very big passion of mine. And then I love evening gown because, it's just a moment to just feel so beautiful. And that is always the moment that I walk on stage and it's kind of like everyone else is gone and it's just me. It's kind of like the High School Musical moment where all the lights go out and like a moment like that, and I'm just standing in my beautiful dress and I'm always like walking out and I'm just picturing my year, the things I have experienced, and I always tear up while I'm on stage because it's like I forget that it's a competition. It's just I'm there for myself and I'm there for, the person that I have become and how proud I am. And that is my moment to just stand there and be like, okay, girl, like, I'm so proud of you. So I love, love, love every area of competition, but those are my favorite.
Both really great phases of competition. I always love asking that question to my fellow title holders, not only in this organization, but other organizations, because everybody has a different answer and everybody always has a story to back up that answer. So, but I feel you on the interview and the evening gown. I personally love all of the phases. It's really hard to pick one, but I love how the
Yes.
Miss America opportunity gives you an opportunity and also a chance to not only be professional, but be pretty. It's professional and pretty, during
Yes.
interview and evening gown.
Mhm.
So absolutely love those answers. So this one's kind of like an exciting question to ask you. So as the first member
Mhm.
of your Miss America's teen class, what are some things that you are looking forward to going into the national competition?
I am so excited for Miss America. Like, I can't even believe that I get to say I'm going to Miss America. That is just mind-blowing for sure. If you told me that when I was 3 or even when I was 13 when I first competed, I would have said, "No way, Jose, that is not something that I could ever do." So I think it's honestly just like the the accomplishment. Like I'm here and I get to be on the stage to really impact everyone. I have to say, I'm honestly really excited for the onstage question as well as all of the fun experiences. I have loved following along all the state title holders and seeing their own individual experience at Miss America. And I'm so excited to hang out with them and party. And actually had the opportunity to go to Miss America last year. It was a Christmas present that I was surprised with. So, wow, what the timing, right? And so I loved seeing the Miss America on stage question. And we were like the last row, like all the way at the top of the theater. We were there. That is where I was. And watching all those women talk about their story on stage and how they had that powerful moment, I'm excited to have that powerful moment and to just use that time to hopefully make an impact on someone in the audience. Even if it's just one person, it's worth it. And I'm just so excited. I think about it every night. I'm like, okay, okay, the dress and the experiences and Disney World. Can you tell I'm just a little excited, I guess.
You represent perfectly how I felt going into the competition last year. I remember I was crowned last June and I was just like, okay, when is Miss America going to be? When are we going to pick out this? When are we going to do this? I can't wait for all the fun experiences. And then I was there and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here. We're having all the fun experiences. We're competing. We're doing all the things that I've been dreaming of doing. And here we are. Like,
Yes.
perfectly represent how not only me, but I'm sure all of my other sisters felt going into Miss America's teen. I'm
Ah,
so happy that you're so excited about
I'm so excited.
it. So, what is your favorite point of the crown and why? I love getting to ask that question because, again, like I mentioned in the favorite phase of competition question, everybody always has a different answer. And I love hearing the stories and all of the different answers that come with this question. So, tell us what your favorite point of the crown is and why.
So again, it's a tie for sure. I'd say my favorite is service. That is like the top point for me. And then the next one is scholarship. Because I have been able to earn about $13,000 just in the past 2 years of competing. And I'll never forget like last year when I got my check from Miss Utah's teen and like going in with my dad to like, you know, to put the check in a savings account. I like cried because it's just so amazing to know that I mean, I got money from competing in something that is so fun and that made me into a stronger woman than I was before. Like, come on, that's so perfect. So I that is just such an amazing part and pillar of the Miss America organization is knowing that I have that scholarship opportunity and that I will be able to use it in the future for all my educational goals. And then just service is just amazing. And I have noticed that on the days that I have a really hard day, or, we all have our like seasonal depression, right? Or when we go through something really hard, service is the thing that I know will help me get out of it. And I know it will help me. And so during our spring break, we had it about 2 weeks ago. Me and my family went to go serve at a homeless shelter called the Road Home, and we served lunch. And I loved that we were able to bring my family together. And I was in charge of the cake, so I came home with like covered in cake, but it was so fun to be there with all my brothers and to connect on that level. And we all went home feeling so happy and grateful for the things that we have. And I love meeting all the people that get to serve. And in reality, they are serving me more than I am serving them. And it's so awesome. So service and scholarship is definitely my top favorites.
Those are absolutely beautiful stories. Love hearing all of the things that you have been able to do with service. But since you mentioned scholarship, I know this is a while away since you were just crowned, but post Miss Utah's teen, how do you plan to use your scholarship dollars that you have earned and the scholarship dollars that you will earn at Miss America's teen?
I have many goals for my future. It's something that I've been looking forward to and I've been planning for since sixth grade. It's just always been something I've been excited for. Like I mentioned earlier, I love history and all the things to do with it. So I want to become an archaeologist and basically become like the cool Indiana Jones female version and go and experience all of that. So I want to go to BYU here in Utah and learn more about archaeology. And then I also want to go study abroad to as many places as possible. And so far, what I plan to use with all my scholarship money is for BYU and studying abroad, because that is something really important to me, that I get to go experience the world and learn firsthand what it's like to be in a different culture, because I love culture, I love people, and I love history. So that is what I'm really excited to do after my year as Miss Utah's teen.
I love hearing you get so excited talking about college as a freshman in college, about to actually finish my freshman year of college, going into my sophomore year. It's so refreshing to hear all of these young people kind of really get excited over starting college and getting started on their future. So it's so refreshing to hear you be so happy and so excited about starting your future post Miss America journey. So with that brings me to our last question, and this is always my favorite question to ask title holders. So, what is a piece of advice or multiple pieces of advice that you would give to any girls that are preparing to compete in their state competitions or even local competitions that are actually already starting in your state? What's some advice that you would give to those girls?
I would tell them to be open to new experiences and to stay true to yourself. I know that that is like the most basic piece of advice, but I will never forget my first year competing. I was 13 years old and I did my talent to a hip hop by Eminem. It was Godzilla. And it was something that like no one had ever seen. Like hip hop was kind of like I've never seen it in a pageant before, and I had a lot of people tell me they loved it, and a lot of people tell me they really hated it and that the judges really hated it. And so that was something really hard for me because it was something I loved because I'm a hip hopper. I love hip hop for many different reasons. And so then the next year I decided to not do a hip hop, which I love the dance that I did. And I think it was perfect for the year that I won Miss Lehigh's teen. But I really learned, especially competing for Miss Utah as Miss Lehigh's teen, that I need to stay true to myself and just showcase them who Kira Gardner is. And that is the person that they want. They don't want a cutout shape. They don't want anyone specific. They don't want a blonde hair. They don't want brunette. Like, it does not matter what you look like, who you are, what your personality is like. They just want you, and they want the person that you are and how you will change the world, because no matter what, you will make an impact. Even if it's just one person, like I mentioned earlier, it will matter. Just like Emma Broyles helped me, she will probably never know the big impact that she made on my life and how she is the reason I'm here today. And that is who I want to be, and that is who you should strive to be, And it's just, do not try and be someone that you're not, and be your beautiful, authentic, perfect self, because every single person is amazing and the judges will see that. So go you, girl.
I love your advice. That's such great advice. I know definitely when I was going into this past year that I competed at the state competition, excuse me, I really kind of was just sitting with myself and saying, you just have to be yourself and not care what the outcome is, because if they want you, they want you. And if they don't, they don't. You're going to college in the fall. You're going to do so many other amazing things. So you just got to be yourself. And honestly, with
Yeah.
that answer, I see why you love interview, because you killed it, girl.
Oh, thanks.
Of
And also,
course.
sorry, like one last thing, real quick. I definitely have to say it's like, one of the biggest pieces of it. Sorry, I keep going, but like the biggest piece of advice I received was from my mom, and she said, like you could be the best orange in the world, but they're looking for an apple. And so it's very different for what they're looking for. And you just have to know that it's God's plan and it is what it is. And it's all going to work out for you. And it's God's timing. So whether you're the best orange and they pick the best orange because that's what they want and they're craving an orange, or if they pick the apple because that's what they're looking for, you are perfect no matter what. And you're still the best orange. You know what I mean? So it's just, trust the process, and it's all God's plan, all God's timing. Hallelujah.
God's plan indeed. And I know that's something that I really connected with a lot of the other girls in my Miss America's teen class about, was our worship and our faith. So I hope you get to have that experiences as well and get to kind of really dig into what the Lord has in store for you. But thank you again so much for coming on. I had the best time speaking with you, and
Of course. It
best
was
of
so
luck.
fun.
Oh, I know. Best of luck at Miss America's Teen and all that you do as Miss Utah's Teen.
Oh, thank you. I super appreciate it. You're the best.
Oh, so are you, girl. All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Of course. That was the second episode of Titleholder Talks with Emily. I hope you enjoyed hearing all these stories and experiences that Kira was able to share with us today, and I loved getting to talk to her. This podcast will be going live on Spotify and YouTube at Titleholder Talks with Emily, and I also will be sharing clips from this episode as well as future episodes on my Miss Connecticut's Teen Instagram account at Miss America's Teen CT. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.